Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, I'm Natalie, and in this channel, I like to share my financial journey with all of you. Today, I'm going to be setting up my sinking funds and savings trackers for 2025. And if you've been following me for a bit, you know that I have traditionally been a physical planner girly. I use my iPad every day for work and even for like regular planning and whatnot. I've always steered away from doing that for my financial side of things. So we're gonna see how this goes. I really wanted to like stop using like the stickers and kind of like logging around my huge planner everywhere I went. And this is already with me at all times, no matter what. So I figured this would be easier for me to keep track of everything and also to record. If you are interested in seeing my journey as I pay off debt, achieve goals, and really share a little bit of myself here on the internet, please subscribe. And yeah, let's get right into it. So I purchased this planner on Etsy. I don't remember the name of the seller, but I'll just link it down below. And it's a pretty simple planner, pretty basic, but it has everything you need really. So this is kind of the index of everything, and I'm not going to go into like full details, but it will always have a calendar view of things. It will have your monthly budget as part of your monthly setup, as well as a spending tracker and your reflections. And then it has tons of different types of budgets, savings trackers, savings challenges, and then some other financial trackers that you can use, as well as you can also add regular pages in case you want to jot down any notes. If you've been watching me before, you know that I suck at keeping track of my sinking funds. It's something that I've always struggled with, and it always ends up being terrible because I'm never fully prepared for all of the expenses that I have in the year. So I'm going to make a huge effort this year to actually add money to my sinking funds and just actually accomplish all of the savings that I need to do for all of the expenses that I'll have throughout the year. So as I mentioned, they have different trackers for all of this. So this is what the sinking funds comes to be. One page has 4 different funds that you can add into it. So I just created an extra page for this template, but I added a few pages because I have a total of 9 sinking funds for this year. So I'm gonna write them down and we're gonna get right into it. So my first sinking fund, my car maintenance, and here really it's everything related to my car. So whether it's windshield wipers, and this is very small, so we're gonna make it bigger. And for the year, I would like to save $600. I would end up saving $50 per month. So the goal is 600 bucks, and that would mean that I would have to save $50 a month, so 25 per paycheck. And really the goal date here is I did a full car inspection on my vehicle last year. I changed all the tires. The only thing that's coming up in the next few months is my oil change once I go down to Orlando, probably now in January. It's something I'm going to do, but I switched all the windshield wipers a month ago, so I don't expect anything major, hopefully. So $600, and the goal date I'm just going to leave blank because there's not a specific date for that. Whenever something happens, it'll happen. Then my second sinking fund is actually going to be my car insurance, and this is the one that I need to get going for sure. I expect to have to pay several $100s in April. So my goal is to save $150 per month. My goal is to save $1,800 a year, which would be $150 per month. And my goal end date, of course, I have an April goal date, April, and then also September. So that's definitely something I need to keep in mind. I definitely need to start on that. Should probably have it saved up by March, but we'll see. Then I also have my dog's sinking fund. So that would be Lily. And this is everything really. This is for her vet appointments. This is for her food, for her grooming appointments. So I am aiming to save a total of $1,200 a year because just with her vet appointment, that's $500 on its own. So that's $100 times 12. The big one that's coming up is definitely her vet appointment, which would be in March. I may even need to do this in January when I go down to Florida because I don't expect to drive down for just that. And I'm thinking of just getting her a new vet here in North Carolina, but this vet that she goes to has seen her since she was literally a puppy, and he knows all the issues that she's had over the years, and I just really trust him. But I may very well have to just suck it up and get her to a new vet here. So if not, I will probably try to get her annual checkup done in January, but I don't even know if that's possible. So that's what I'm aiming for there. My next sinking fund is gifts, especially now that I am always around like my cousin and his family. I have been, buying lots of more presents than I anticipated. So I'm just gonna have a section for gifts because I never have one. About $30 per person per celebration. So I'm estimating that I'll have to spend about $360 in gifts this year. This is not counting Christmas, of course. This is just for birthdays or anything of that matter. And then that means that is $30. No end date in my goals here. Then for my second page, my first one would be my hair. So I expect to get my hair done at least twice this year. It's getting more and more expensive. I went to see my hairstylist back in November and she gave me a discount because she had to cancel on me last minute. And even with the discount, I spent like $360 with tip and everything. So I'm aiming for $660 for the year and get it done twice in the year. So that equals about $55 per month. And my goal end date for these would be May and November. Because I know that those are the 2 months that I'll definitely be there. November for Thanksgiving, and then in May I have a trip planned, so I know I'm gonna be down there and might as well get it done there. Then because I won't have a variable spending account for clothing, I'm gonna have it set up as a sinking fund. I'm hoping that I can stick to a lower by year for my clothing, especially because I'm trying to not spend money until stuff is like super big on me. And I've pretty much had everything that I can think of purchased. So I shouldn't need as much this year. So my whole year goal would be $900 for clothing, which that sounds ridiculous, but I'm trying to like be safe in terms of like the number. But now that I'm looking at it, that's crazy. So that actually ends up being about $75 per month. If it works out that I don't need to spend that money, then even better, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And again, no goal specifically for this. Then I have, of course, one of the most important ones, Christmas. And the total here is going to be increased from this year because this year was kind of a fail. So I'm aiming for $960, $80 per month. And of course, the due date here or end date would be November 1st. So some months I'm definitely going to be doing this higher. So November. Honestly, I should probably do it in October because every year things are like on sale sooner and sooner. And then my next one would be travel, and this is my biggest sinking fund. My goal amount for the year is actually $4,500, and this is because this will definitely be including my Scotland trip. So that's 375 times 12. And I have several trips planned for this upcoming year. This month, I'm actually going on a little getaway to Puerto Rico. My flight was free. We're staying with family and friends, so no expense there. And then we are also borrowing a car from another family member. So it should be pretty affordable. At least I hope so. We were aiming to do a tattoo while we were there, but the artist that I want to get tattooed with is not available, so that is going to save me probably several $100s. But yeah, so I should be able to keep that whole 4 days that we're going to be there into like the $700 max. So hopefully that's the case, but I'll get into that in my budget setup for the month. And then my end goal date here would be October. That's the big one that's coming. That's when I expect to travel to Scotland and London. So hopefully I can manage this. And then I also have a trip planned potentially to Portland, Oregon with another group of my friends. So we'll see. I don't know if that's going to happen yet, but that's the plan. So that's 8 sinking funds. And then my last one is actually concerts. I'm already going to a concert, and I believe it's in May actually. So another month that I'm going to be spending like 3 weeks in Florida. But the only concert that I know I'm going to want to go to is of course Bad Bunny. So I'm aiming to not spend more, to not spend more than $720 potentially. He hasn't even announced his concerts, but he's releasing his album tomorrow, and I know for a fact that like within a few days he announces like his tour, unless, because this is a very Puerto Rican focused album, he may just do Latin American countries. Who knows? I don't know. I have not missed a single one of his tours since he actually like became like a arena artist. So I'm not gonna start now. So that is 60 times 12. So that's 720. And that's pretty much it for my sinking funds. So in total, I'm expecting to save $11,700 in the year of 2025 in sinking funds, which translates to $975 a month. So that's the goal. That's what I'm sticking with. And hopefully this year will be the year that I change my ways. But yeah, we'll see. We'll keep track of it in every reset, and hopefully we can make this happen. So going back to my index page, the next thing that I want to do is set up my emergency fund tracker. So as you guys know, this is one of my big goals for the year. My goal amount, it's my big goal amount, but hopefully I can surpass this. My goal would be $15,000, and my goal end date is actually, I would like to have this completed by July 1st. So who knows if this is going to be possible, but that's the goal. And then what I'm thinking I'm going to try to do monthly is to send about $500 every single month to this account. If I can do more, then that's great, especially if I'm under budget, hopefully, in some categories. This is on my Ally Bank. And then my progress. So right now I have 10,924 minus 1,500 or 15,000. So I need another 27% to be done with this goal. So we're actually gonna color this in. We're gonna leave it like that. So I have a good almost 30% left over to save up for, and I think this is very doable. So that's my emergency fund tracker. I'm gonna do my Roth IRA. The end date is December 31st, 2025, and my start date will be January 2025. And of course, the goal will be 7,000. So that should be good. With this one, I'm gonna also do my condo emergency fund in this category. So condo emergency fund. My end date, this would be, I would love to have this done by September 2025. And then my start date will probably be, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to do this in January. So we're gonna do February. And then we'll review once I set up my budget for the month. I don't know if that's gonna be doable. And then the goal here, of course, as mentioned before, is 4,400. I also want to have another savings tracker. This time, this is for like money that should be left over. And I'm just gonna call this long-term goals because I don't have a need for these yet, but I know that eventually I'll need a new car. Eventually I'll want to buy a property once I get rid of my condo in Florida, or not. I don't know. Eventually I may want to move. So I'm gonna have a bucket for all of those longer term goals that don't have a specific date this year even. So no end date in sight, and then I'm gonna start this as soon as possible. So we're gonna aim for this to also be done in January. And if I stick to my monthly budgets, I should have some money left over. So that's there. And then the goal would be, I don't know, maybe a good number would be like maybe $8,000. I'm just hoping that, you know, whatever else gets thrown at me, whether it's a bonus or I get a raise, maybe I can like aim to have this. If it's more than this, great. If not, then also great. The whole thing that I just want to make sure happens is that I save more than what I spend. So this should help me achieve that goal of 35% of my income going to savings, short and long term. So, and I think that's pretty much it. And then I think that last thing that, again, I kind of shared in my other one, I did set up my vision board in this planner as well. I think it's important for me to like see it everywhere. I also have it as part of my background in my phone, all of that. So I'm really excited to tackle this year, and just like for all of us to be more mindful about our spending and achieve those goals that we feel are not attainable. So anyways, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.